Thank you, Mr. Krish, for giving a detailed info about do's and don'ts in election of wires. Now we'll have a short video presentation of one of our sponsors, Polycab. Dr. Deboji Mukherjee will lead us through their firms and products. Let's hear from them.
I cannot see from here. Excuse me. I cannot see from here. Oh, okay.
You can change it from here, sir.
And this
Actually, pointer is not there.
pointer is not working. Okay. The changing is there, but only pointer is not working. Hello? It is audible? Yeah. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all dignitaries and NFE organizers. So on behalf of Polycab, we appreciate the effort of NFE. They have taken they are conducting a workshop for 2 days for NEC, National Engineering Code implementation, which will be much more beneficial to everybody. So there are a lot of unsafe wiring, unsafe installation we can see, and that's why there are a lot of accidents and fire. Let us see what is happening, what National Crime Record Bureau, what they are saying, that every day, 30 Indian people, they died because of fire accidents. 40% of the fire accident is taking place because of electrical issues. So out of 40%, another 40% is that because of the electrical short circuit. This short circuit takes place because of different reasons. Maybe most of the times it is a cable, but there are other things also. 16.7% rise in accident in residential area, basically residential building. You know, there are a lot of high-rise buildings, and the uneven, unsafe wiring is there, and there are a lot of accident case over there. So there is a data from 2015 to 2019 that fire accident not drastically reduced, but it is not comparable to Europe. It is still, there is a big difference between Europe and India. So what happens when there is a fire? So few things on this fire. So fire exactly taken place, and because of the fire or burnt up, people do not die. People die because of toxic gases, suffocation, and oxygen depletion. When there is a big fire, there is a lot of oxygen depletion is there, and then people cannot take breathing. Sometimes firefighter goes over there, they cannot come back because there is no oxygen. So there are a lot of things like cables, paints, then cable joints, then furnitures. Those things when start burning, they are producing a lot of obnoxious gases, toxic gases. And those gases coming into the body, and then people either have a suffocation or they die. So let us see what is the mechanism of fire. So when there is a fire, before that I'll tell you, this ASTM people, American Society for Testing Material, they have done a lot of exercises on this for fire. And they have done this basically on the cable. They have intentionally do a lot of short circuit on the cable, and they have checked what is happening. So due to short circuit, let us say there is a time temperature curve and one cable is lying over there. So it is working fine until it is getting short circuited. So when the short circuit takes place, after that, immediately the temperature goes to 250 degree. Now, whatever NEC is recommending or IS 732 is recommending, basically IS 732 recommending to IS 694, 7098, so many cable specifications are there. And those cables is working fine up to 250 degree temperature because those cables are fire retardant. But beyond 250 degree temperature, when there is a fire, within half an hour it goes to 850 degree temperature. So let us say, example, God sake it should not happen. Let us say in this room there is a fire. And when the fire takes place tremendously, then where is the maximum temperature it will take place? So where is the maximum temperature it will take place? Can anyone tell us? So maximum temperature, these ASTM people, they worked and then they found at the ceiling. The ceiling, the temperature is 1100 degrees centigrade. So they have formed a time temperature curve, and if you find time, you can see ASTM E119A. That is the book. You can consult with that. And there is a time temperature curve where you can see that within a half an hour, temperature goes to 830 degree, and prior that, it slowly goes to 1100 degree, and then it is coming parallel to x-axis. So this graph has taken from there, and it is showing that cable is working fine until it is short-circuited. After that, up to 250 degree, it is working as a flame retardant. But after 250 degree centigrade temperature, so when it goes to 850 degree temperature, everything burns. Even concrete also burns. Your furniture, whatever things are there in the room, everything will burn, and concrete will also start burning. So these are called fuel. So when there is a fire, three things are required. Three things. One is that oxygen, another is that fuel, and then there is a heat which coming up to the flame. So after 250 degree temperature, everything works as a fuel, even concrete also. So this temperature goes to 850 degree, then no cable, nothing works. And what happened exactly, if it is a high-rise building, so the lift will not work, your firefighting system will not work, and many things may happen, people cannot evacuate, and then ultimately there are a lot of casualties. So based on this experiment, so we, the cable manufacturer, and a lot of other cable manufacturers, they have developed product which can work up to 950 degree temperature for 3 hours. This 3 hours, 950 degree temperature, this cable will work. By that time, your lift can operate. You can evacuate people from top floor, and your firefighting equipment will also work, so that water sprinkler, everything will work, so that fire can be extinguished. So these are the things are placed. So many people or many installation, it has not been done, like where it's an emergency wiring system, like hospitals, high-rise building. We normally don't see these kind of products are using. And in India, in Europe, it is mandatory. India is still non-mandatory. So NEC is somewhere, I think section 9, table A and table B, they have superficially taken this subject, that fire survivable cable. This is called fire survivable cable. So they are superficially they have taken, but it is not mandatory. Now the time has come, this product has to be mandatory for all emergency lighting, like in metro station, metro tunnel, hospitals, people are voluntarily using this. And not only using this, they are taking third-party certificate also. So in British standard or British standard laboratory, so there are some testing specifications are also there, and they are issuing certificate also. So a lot of people are asking for that certificate also. So NEC has to take care of this. Now, why fire accident happens? So since we are talking about cable, so let us discuss about cable only. So misused extension cord. So you must have seen that, let us have an example, somebody's house having a function or birthday ceremony, and they are using high voltage music, then a lot of other devices, ACs, so many things they are using. And they are using one extension board without knowing that extension board is how much is the current capacity, current carrying capacity. So current carrying capacity is discussed here a number of times. I think since morning, Mr. Appavu, Mr. Chris, they have already told current carrying capacity. So people are using these without knowing the current carrying capacity, and what happened exactly, after so much load, the cable burns and then short circuit takes place and again fire. So faulty fixtures of electrical equipment, there are a lot of equipment are available in the market which are very cheap quality, and they even do not have the IS marking also. And people comfortably buy these things from the market and use this, and then they get a problem in the house. I think most of you, when you use your geyser switch, sockets, or in the kitchen, the micro oven sockets or switch, you will see repeatedly after use of 2 months or 3 months, you see that there is a short circuit and then there is no power on this. So it is basically the cheap product, cheap quality product, not going through the IS standard. So these kind of things happens. Wrong wiring practices. Many houses or many buildings, especially in office area, there is a meter room, and people are taking line from the meter room, and comfortably they are using their power. So there are some connected load, sanctioned connected load. Suppose if you, in your house, I do not know whether, I think all consultant might be knowing. So any apartment or condominium or house, there is a sanctioned load of 4 kilowatt or 6 kilowatt. And now if you use more than this by using lot of domestic appliances, like more than 3 AC, more than 4 AC, more than 5 AC, 3, 4 washing machine, 2 fridges. So automatically the overload will come and then there will be a fire. Similarly, when from the meter room, people are taking connections, so overloading will be there and there will be a fire. So current overload is already discussed. Faulty equipment and appliances. Lot of faulty equipment and appliances are available in the market. I forgot your name, sir. You were asking for the anti-rodent material wire. So similar, lot of faulty wires are used in the domestic appliances. Even not only domestic appliances, even in the house, so many places. So these materials are not at all to be used, and because of the rat bite or because of weather or because of so many impacts, this gets spoiled and then short circuit takes place and there is a fire. Panel and circuit breakers, again, same thing, using derated or inferior quality of product. Poor maintenance. This is very, very important. I have not seen much that after installation of wiring, there is any maintenance over there. You know, in the house, there is a copper wire that is little bit safe. But when it is an industry or when it is a corridor or when it is a incoming line, that is mostly in India, it is aluminum. And aluminum is having a property, is called cold flow. Means, if you if you terminate the aluminum wire, or if you connectorize the aluminum wire with a bolt or some nut, then it will be under pressure. But since it is having a cold flow, slowly the aluminum material will flow. And after 2 years, you will find that there is a loosening of connections. And when the loosening of connections, there will be a spark on that. And these sparks develop enough amount of fire over there. So this kind of maintenance we never seen many places. I should not tell all places, but some of the places I have seen, and people are taking care of that. But many of the old buildings, and if you see in India, a lot of old buildings are getting fire. That is because of this lot of poor maintenance. So type of electrical faults. So mostly, if you take an example in house, mostly cooking, gas and cooking kitchen, it is fire, but we will talk about electricals. So circuit overload 20% means in your socket, in one socket you are using In kitchen, micro oven, then your washing machine, then fridge, and so many appliances. Now, air fryer, so many things are coming out because technology is going ahead. So, circuit overloading is there, and then there is again, short circuit. Electrical distribution problem is there. Heating equipment is a major problem. Heating equipment means heater, then toaster, then your oven. So that is a major problem. If you take it from the one socket, so it is overloading is there. So these are the report we have found from the NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau. So many places when we talk about this, because we go to the people and then we try to convince them, but things are coming is that design challenge. So many people say many things, but we are not going to discuss so many things because it will take a long time. So it is a design challenge. But design challenge is there, it is clearly written in the NEC or NBC, National Engineering Code, National Building Code, it is clearly written. So if we follow, so design challenge will overcome. High level of power distribution. Power distribution is another point because when there is a high power network, so there is the correct product to be used, and you have to take a correct current rating, whatever Mr. Appabu was saying, Mr. Chris was saying, that there is a current rating chart, and if you use this chart, so there will be no accident to be taken place. High level of automation. This is now the major problem at this point because you know the technology has gone ahead and so many complicated devices have come, and automation means, let us take an example of robotics. So robotics is moving 360 degree. When it is moving 360 degree, the cable also start moving 360 degree, okay, because the head will be operated by power. So power is coming by cable. So when 360 degree it is moving, cable is also moving, and after some time what happened, the cable insulation is done by the polymeric insulations are there, and polymer is basically a long chain, molecular chain. When there is a number of times movement, so this polymer molecular chain breaks sometimes. And because of the breaking, so there are some degradation start place. And when there is a degradation, then again short circuit. So we have found many places, Bosch, T, they have checked because they are doing a lot of automation over there, and they found that cable is getting short circuited within small span of time. So there are some good polymeric insulations are there which can work better. Complexity of electrical equipment, as I told you, there are a lot of electrical devices have come where some skilled people are required, because many people, they are asking for the some unauthorized or uncertified wireman to be used, and then they connectorize, and then there's a problem. Low voltage power supply safety design requirement. Low voltage is always a problem. Current rating, if you use properly, design properly, wiring is according to the proper engineering will be good. Now, what is the risk factor? If you do some wiring, and if it is a bad wiring or it is a good wiring, do not know. But let us say, what is the risk factor? So risk factor is always there is a chance of short circuit, then high rise, then fire safety will be a problem, then high level of toxicity and VOC. This is most important. See, when there is a fire, then a lot of things are started burning, and then toxic gases started coming. So in your house also, if you feel, some of the times, if you see, the children are crying, babies are crying. Your wife is most of the time in the kitchen, they are falling sick without knowing anything. So why it has happened? So your wiring is done under the wall or behind the wall. So it is called concealed wiring. Now when there is a number of wire in the conduit, so while passing the current, there are a lot of heat develops. And because of the heat, the volatile organic content which is in the polymer, that comes out. And when this organic content comes out, this is passing through the socket because there is no way to escape. So escape position is only in the kitchen socket, or whatever the socket will be available in the living room or where. So this volatile organic content goes to your body and produces a lot of disease. For children, for babies, there is a cadmium will go, then there will be a asthma, then lead will come, it will create cancer. So many things happens. And many times, a lot of superstition is also there, that our house is in south facing, we will not take this one. Some houses west facing, we will not take this one. But ultimately, thing is that this is very scientific. So these things are going to happen. Design safety, internal communication, so because of the fire will be a problem. Medium risk, high level of EMF. I think Mr. Apabu already spoken this, so I will not go in details in EMF. Safety of low voltage electrical supply system. Natural disaster, we do not have in hand. So low risk is always follow safety regulation, National Engineering Code, IBC, ANBC, IS 732. So I'm skipping this, otherwise it will take a long time. So EMF from house wiring. So when there is a supply in the wire, you are comfortably watching the TV, and there will be you have a remote. And sometimes when you finish your TV watching, you with the remote you switch off. But ultimately, the power in the wire it is still remaining. And when there is a power, the EMF is coming. You do not know. You are charging your mobile, you are charging your computer, and in the night and sleeping comfortably. But sometimes you don't have a good sleep because of lot of EMS are coming from these chargers. This is called dirty electricity. So these are continuously coming, and people think that there is a problem of direction. If I sleep in east direction, that will be good. Somebody is saying west direction, it will good. But it's nothing but the electrical problem. So toxicity and VOC is major problem. Conventional wire and cable develops high toxicity during high fire situation. I would like to say NEC has done a lot of good job, but still there are things to be developed because technology has gone more advanced. So normal conventional wire, we use, I think all electrical consultant, you know, FR wire, FRLS, H. So fire retardant materials are available in the market, different quality. So there are ingredients which are cheap quality and that can use in the wire, and that will barely pass the Indian standard. But when the fire taken place huge, tremendous, then these ingredients react each other and form a exothermic reaction. So chemical reaction, there are two types. One is exothermic, another is endothermic. So when exothermic, the heat will release. When endothermic, heat will absorb. So in this case, fire retardant cable, so ingredients are reacting each other and then a lot of heat develops, and then this heat added with the fire, and then more fire will take place. So there are good quality of ingredients are available which will not develop heat. So we are working with different specifications like metro rails, EN specification, EN 50306, EN 50264. So they have specifically mentioned that HRR means heat release rate to be mentioned. So those things NEC has to take care, how much should be the heat release rate. Otherwise, what will happen once fire will take place, it will go on. Oxygen depletion develops breathing problem, develop high organic content. I told you about the VOC. Producing additional heat, just now I told you. So safety regulation. Okay, I have two slides. Safe wiring installation, NEC section 7 clause 4.6 refers IS 732. NEC section 9 also same thing. And I think you can get it in the book. Central Electricity Authority Regulation 2010. So they have done installation of product cable based on the voltage grade. But there are some other parameters also which we'll have to consider for wiring. Wiring and protection, wiring and system, temperature rating. Normally, people are using 70-degree temperature rating for low wiring network. But when the wiring network goes high, there are different temperature rating also, 90-degree, 85-degree, but we do not see people are using much more. If the wiring network too high, then there is a 105-degree temperature rating products are available. So those things are not, people are not using. And also 105-degree NEC is also not proposed here. So I think NEC is having a National Engineering Code. Have you seen this book? It's a 764 pages book. And many people are afraid of going through that book, but it is a good book, but I think it should be more user-friendly, and many things to be taken care on this. Foreign bodies, polluting substance, vibrating impact, there are a lot of foreign bodies are accommodating in the product, in the wire and cable. So see, this wire and cable is a basic material where the current is conveying. And if we must protect this, otherwise there will be a short circuit and electrical problem. Safety regulation, method of installations. I just told you, time is less, so I'll skip. So NEC regulation, before coming this, Mr. Gopakumar was asking me, there are some specification. So some of the fire specification, not some of the fire specification, mostly all fire specification, NEC or IS, they referred IEC, because IS yet not made fire safety specification much more. So if you see, this pointer is not working anyway. IEC 60332-3, it is not, Indian standard has not been developed, but IEC 60332-1, so Indian standard is there, so that is called IS 10810. So part 53, they have mentioned this one, flammability test. So this flammability test is a bare test, means if you want to use this cable, it has to have this flammability test. And you know PVC in such a thing that easily that test is passing without adding anything. For that, there is another test, is called oxygen index test, which is once again IS 10810 part 56, I think. So that is called oxygen index test. Means if your were to be used as a FR, if you make a certification of fire retardancy, so the oxygen index should be 29%. Normal oxygen index in the room is 21%. So this oxygen index of the wire should be 29%, because means 29% of the oxygen level will go, then this product will burn. So what we do, normally 29% oxygen level will not come in normal case, because if it comes, then all of us will die. So what happens, we take this data and we make an extrapolation of the graph, and then we see at what temperature, based on oxygen index, it will burn. So normally it is 250 degree, it will burn. So that test we have. Another all fire testing is referred by IS. Okay, maybe one more. Okay, this Mr. Gopakumar suggested, so I have taken this. Another last thing I want to say, that wiring material. So NEC or BIS has not taken care of any material, because these materials are very, very important. And when you use this material, when there is a fire, from this material, lot of poisonous gases will be coming. So this poisonous gas will have a problem of the health, and many other things also. Your other equipments may get spoiled. So wiring material to be considered in NEC and NEIS, and it will be safe. So thank you very much for giving patience. Any questions? So you can answer on this.
We'll take the questions later, because we are getting late for tea.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So I think we can break for tea, correct? Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you.